Hey everyone, welcome back to Glow Up with Ale. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. As you can see, different from my previous videos, still in my room, just now you can see everything. I'm sorry in advance for the lighting. I'm obviously, I didn't think about my filming when I decided to paint my room black, but I have a ring light here and a little bit of light elsewhere, so hopefully it's not too dark for you. Regardless, I was filming a makeup video. I filmed this one right here, which I will post tomorrow on my Instagram and maybe my TikTok. This one's called, it's the current trend, unrecognizable makeup, which I kind of forgot to do a little something, but whatever. I still love the look. So if you're looking for more makeup tutorials, more short form content, I highly recommend following me on my Instagram and my TikTok, as I am much more active there. So being that this is a beauty channel, I think it's very important to shed light on not only the superficial things about beauty, which are still very fun, like makeup, hair, fashion, all of these superficial things that everybody else sees, right? But it's just as important to work on inner beauty and just on ourselves. To share a little bit about my personal life towards November. Towards the end of November of last year, I decided to take a big leap and quit my job, which was a very stable job that the same industry that I'd been in for 4.5 years roughly. And I told myself that it was time that I was uncomfortable because I've lived a very comfortable life. Does that mean that I haven't suffered? No. Does that mean that I haven't struggled? No. But ultimately, I haven't experienced like these insane hardships that, forced people to change drastically and completely change their lives. Although I have had my struggles and my traumas, ultimately I understand that I live a pretty comfortable life. And at 26, living with my parents, I don't think it's the best thing for me to be just so comfortable. I'm very young, and thankfully I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to pay a mortgage or anything like that, but it's in my best interest to take this time of my life to really build something for myself now that I have the most flexibility and freedom that I'll ever probably have. So I decided to quit my job, my very stable, stagnant, but stable job, and I went into sales. I was doing bookkeeping for like a while, and I considered a future in accounting, but that's another story for another time. So I decided to go into sales because everybody always told me that you'd be great in sales, yada, 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 yada. So I was like, F it, I'm going to go into sales and I'm going to go do great. I researched it. I watched so many YouTube videos. I read so many articles, yada, yada, yada. And after my first week, I got fired. Along with a few other people, but regardless of what the reasoning was for, maybe it was a coincidence that I got fired along with other people, maybe I just sucked. I mean, it was my first week. I had never been in sales in my life, and I think I made like 3 sales that whole week. I'm not going to get into like what I was selling or anything like that, but I was just kind of thrown aback because here I was thinking, and I was so hyped. I was so excited to start this new journey. And I thought that meant going into sales. So I'm grateful to be honest, I'm very grateful that didn't work out for me. I would have ended up having even less flexibility than I do now due to the hours of working and at what time I'd get home, and like having to schedule my whole day around that job just did not make sense, and I was really trying to make it work for me. So thankfully that just did not work out. But I got laid off or fired or however you want to call it. And I was just like, okay, well, man plans and God laughs. I decided to, I needed to I took that whole week for myself, the following week for myself, and I really sat down with myself and reflected and meditated, and like I asked, my guardian angels or my higher self to guide me, because I not that I felt lost, because I knew at that point, this was last year, by the way, November of 2024, I knew what I really wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to pursue content creation, because for me, that means ultimate freedom, not just financial, but creative freedom to do as I please, when I please. I'm a very creative person. I love connecting with people. And I love making people feel good. And I love sharing. I'm a people person. I love people. And, the bookkeeping job that I was doing, I was in front of a desk, or I'm sorry, I'm sitting on a desk in front of a computer for hours and hours, Monday through Friday. So lame. And I mean, look, it's good to know how to keep your books. It's important. So I'm grateful that I learned that, because I'll be able to apply that in the future to my future businesses. But I got what I needed to get from that. And I had been serving as a waitress, on and off throughout the last, like 6-7 years of my life. I hadn't done it full time in a long time. So I was like, you know what? I just need to do it. But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, dude, like I need to figure it out for myself. And I know that if I continue on this comfortable path, then I am not going to achieve anything worthwhile in my life. And I cannot allow myself to do that. I cannot. I will not allow myself to just settle, especially at such a young age. So I went into serving full time, and that's actually where I am now. It's still the first month of the year. We're still in January of 2025, but so much has happened since the last 2 months that it feels like it's already been a year. and I just think it's crazy how many things can happen. I have met really cool people. I forgot how awesome serving was. It's not for everyone, but it definitely is for me. It's so stimulating. I get to network. I get to connect with people. And time goes by like this. I work for tips, so it's a much more competitive pay than what I was doing before as bookkeeping. Was it stable? Did I get the same amount every week? Sure. Or bi-weekly or whatever? Sure. But with this, I actually can make more. And that's what I wanted. I decided that I was going to suffer for a little while, however long that little while might be, and I was going to do serving full time because it allows me the flexibility to create more content and to do more with my time, working for less, actually. It's just such a... what this really taught me was that when you open your mind to the possibilities and when you are willing to do something, things will really just happen for you. But you have to believe, and you have to be willing to actually put in the work, and the internal, like not just the physical work, but like the inner work as well. And that's pretty much why I decided to make this video, was that especially going into content creation as not a full-time job, because this content creation is not my full-time job, but going into content creation fully immersing myself into it and fully, like wholeheartedly just giving it my all, and also promoting beauty at that. I think it's so important to remember that we are all just human and we're all just trying to figure it out. And you never know what somebody else is going through. You never know, even though they might look so happy and like beautiful on this camera or the screen or whatever, and their hair's shiny and their lips are, or their teeth are white and their lips are glossy, and they're recommending all this eyeliner or powder or whatever to you. You have no idea what this person's going through. You have no idea the hardships that they have to overcome. You have no idea like anything. And it's like beauty is so much more than meets the eye. People's stories are beautiful and your struggles are beautiful, that they're exactly what make you who you are, and that's beautiful. Also, kind of within the transformation of like career wise or job wise, I also I don't have a lot of the friends that I used to have. I've had a lot more time alone. I've had a lot more time to spend with myself. And I always say, this is a saying, I've said this for the longest time, is it's not about spending time by yourself. It's about spending time with yourself. And if you only view your time alone as spending time by yourself, then you're constantly going to try to be filling up that emptiness, versus if you look at time alone as time spent with yourself, then you're looking at yourself as somebody to invest in, right? Somebody worth your time. And you should be. You are worth your time. You don't need to fill up every second of every free moment that you have with, doing stuff with other people. And that's something that I also really needed to understand and accept for myself. I think solitude is so important. And as somebody who praised solitude my entire life, I had never quite experienced it the way that I have experienced it lately. And it's been a very interesting journey being alone. I don't necessarily mean romantically. I just mean in the sense of what I'm doing with myself. Does that make sense? Is this video making sense? I don't know. But yeah, just taking the time, going, January 1st, I decided I'm going to wake up, even though I had barely slept the night before, the 31st, because my family and I, we stay up way past midnight. We watch the ball drop in New York. We do the whole shebang. And I was like, I'm going to wake up January 1st. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to watch the sunrise, and I'm just going to take that time for myself. And I did. And I'm so grateful for that. And it allowed me to kind of cleanse and in a way welcome new energies and new opportunities. But lately I've just been spending a lot of time alone. I've been really hitting the gym, really hitting my health hard. I've been researching a lot of things. I've been trying to prioritize my mental health, my emotional health, understanding who I am, and trying to navigate, learning who I am becoming, and trying to navigate this new chapter in my life. But I guess ultimately I just realized how beautiful I really am. And I hope that if you're watching this and you're feeling like you're in a similar situation of unknowingness and just newness and kind of just, you feel like you just got thrown in a lake and you're like, whoa, I don't know where to go. It's okay. And there's so much beauty in that. And if you approach this chapter, if I approach this chapter with open arms and an open mind and wide open eyes, then I know that I am subject to receive blessings upon blessings, and you are too. And 2025 feels like so much has happened in the span of 3 weeks. There is so much more to come. I have so many things to look forward to. Do I know exactly what they all are? No, but I know, I feel it in my gut, in my heart, in my soul that good things are coming for us this year. But we have to be willing to do the work. And it doesn't always necessarily mean physical work for money value. It's the value isn't necessarily just in cash. The value can be in learning more about yourself and establishing yourself more in this life, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, connecting with new people who are valuable, who add value to you, right? And being very selective of not only who you choose to spend your time with, but what you choose to spend your time doing. And yeah, beauty is all around us. It is beautiful to be stuck. It's beautiful to kind of like not be lost, but I guess like it is beautiful, isn't it? Like in a romantic way, like in a let's romanticize life kind of way. Struggle is necessary. I have so many things that I want to do, particularly for content. I want to do more wellness sit-down videos that are as unedited as possible. Literally, the only things that I'm editing off are like too long, like pauses that just waste time. But this is pretty raw, and I want to make more of these videos because wellness is part of beauty. Like I said, it's not just about superficial beauty. If I'm going to promote beauty, then I'm going to promote it right. And it has to be wholesome. I also think that these casual, kind of chill, laid back talks are relatable, and I want to relate to people. I want to be able to connect to people. I want people to share their stories with me, and then we can go back and forth in discussions and, what we've been enlightened by and what we've learned, and share our lessons and share our journeys. So I guess in a way, this is kind of like, hey, here's an introduction to my channel, even though I've already come out with like a few videos, a handful. But yeah, if you have made it this far, thanks for watching. I didn't really have an agenda going into this. Yeah, I didn't write down a script, which I usually do if I'm gonna talk a lot, because I don't want to drift and go everywhere. But if you got the message, then you got the message. But yeah, guys, let's just, 2025 is going to be an amazing year. There's so many incredible things that are going to be happening for us, opportunities left and right. We have to seek them and we have to welcome them. It's a 50-50. It's a give and take, right? That's what life is. It's a relationship. And yeah, don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to suffer. Don't be afraid to take a risk, even if that risk turned out to be a failure. Because guess what? Every time you fail, it's closer and closer and closer to you succeeding. And that's exactly what I've taken this as. I decided to take a big risk, and I did it, and turned out that it was not for me, and that was a failure. And then I was like, okay, well, clearly that wasn't for me. I refuse to go back to bookkeeping. I refuse to go back into a field that I don't seek, that I don't feel passionate about, that I don't seek a future from. And I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to look back at this video at the end of 2025, and I know that I'm going to be so proud of myself, and I know that you're going to be so proud of yourself, because we're going to do the work together. And I kind of want to do updates like once a month, like a wellness talk update, or just a wellness update of where we are in our lives and what improvements we've made. I know for me, I made a vision board. It's right there, but I made that in September, so I don't really want to make a new one, because the truth is those are still my goals for this entire year of 2025. I've been doing a lot of journaling. I have my journal right here. I've been, obviously, like I said, putting a lot more of myself and my intentions into content creation, both user-generated content creation and also influencership. Yeah, trying to read more books and be outside more and go on walks more and meditate more and watch more informative and, I guess you could say, like self-help kind of podcasts versus just mindless things. Don't get me wrong. Do I still love Netflix and chill? Of course. But my free time no longer goes to those things. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to establish ourselves. And everybody has their own timeline, but I just know for a fact that my time is now. So if you have been feeling uneasy or lost, or like you don't even really know where you are in life, I hope that after watching this video, you feel less alone. It might not have solved your problems, and that's okay. That wasn't really my intention, but just remind yourself that you got this, and that you really, really can only take things a step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to accomplish so many things at once, because the truth is, everything's not going to happen all at once, even if it feels like it does. Things take time, and success of any kind takes time and dedication. So let's dedicate ourselves to do better for ourselves and put in the work so that by the end of this year, we are truly unrecognizable. And we look back at January 1st, 2025, and we're like, can you believe that? Who was that girl? Like, what? And I just want to be better. I want 27 to be a different year for me. And that's also the goal, right? I don't want every year to be like, oh, well, I have the same goals that I had last year and the year before that and the year before that. Like, it changes now. Things change now, and let's not avoid time with ourselves, and let's just be open to making mistakes and being intentional about things, and true connection, whether it's connecting with yourself or with others. So yeah, that's kind of what this video was all about. It's going to be hard putting a title to this one, but if you made it this far, give this video a thumbs up. It really means a lot. It lets me know that you actually enjoy content like this, in which case I would love to make more of. If you have any suggestions or ideas of content that you'd like to see from me, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Remember, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Those will also be below as in the description as well. And yeah, it's Sunday. I'm about to go take this makeup off, about to go put on a mask, do some hair or scalp oiling. And tomorrow's a new week. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful one and be safe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.